The discovery that changed everything. The stars gleamed like distant jewels against the endless void as Commander Maya Chen stared through the viewport of the ESS Horizon. After 15 years of service in the Earth Space Fleet, she thought she'd seen everything the cosmos had to offer. She was wrong. "Commander, you need to see this." Lieutenant Rivera's voice crackled through her comm unit, an unusual edge of excitement breaking his typically stoic demeanor. Maya made her way to the science bay, where her specialized exploration team had gathered around a holographic display. The image rotating before them resembled nothing she'd ever encountered. A tetrahedron-shaped object approximately 3 meters tall, its surface etched with symbols that seemed to shimmer and shift as they watched. "Where did we find this?" Maya asked, unable to tear her eyes from the projection. "Sector 7 Delta, Commander," Rivera replied. It was drifting in a debris field near the edge of uncharted space. Initial scans show it's composed of an unknown alloy, and it's active. Dr. Tariq Nasser, the team's xenobiologist, looked up from his console. "It's emitting a low-level radiation pattern that doesn't match anything in our database. And there's something else. It seems to be responding to our presence." Maya approached the display, narrowing her eyes. "Responding how?" "The energy signature changes whenever we direct scanning equipment at it," Rivera explained. "Almost like it's aware." The artifact had been secured in a containment field aboard their ship. Standard protocol dictated they should report the find to Earth Command immediately, but Maya hesitated. Discoveries like this were precisely why their deep space exploration team had been assembled, to investigate anomalies other ships would simply catalog and move past. "I want a full analysis before we report in," she decided. "Tariq, can you determine its age?" The scientist nodded. "Preliminary estimates suggest it's ancient, possibly predating human civilization by millions of years." Days passed as they studied the artifact, each discovery raising more questions than answers. The symbols resembled no known language, yet they seemed to follow mathematical patterns that hinted at intelligent design. Most puzzling was the way the object reacted to human presence. Its energy output increased whenever crew members approached, yet remained dormant around robotic probes. On the 7th day, everything changed. The Horizon sensors detected an approaching vessel, one that hadn't been there moments before. It appeared without warning, its design unlike anything in Earth's records. "Unknown vessel approaching at bearing 317, the tactical officer announced. No response to hails. The alien ship, sleek and organic in design, positioned itself directly in the Horizon's path. A transmission cut through their communications. "Human vessel, this is Ambassador Talon of the Valari Conquered. You possess an artifact of great significance. We demand its immediate surrender." Maya straightened her uniform. "Open a channel," she ordered. When the connection was established, she addressed the alien representative. "This is Commander Maya Chen of the Earth Space Fleet. We discovered this artifact in neutral space. Under interstellar law, we have the right to study it." The alien's voice remained level but carried an unmistakable tone of warning. "You do not understand what you have found, Commander. The Nexus is not meant for your kind. It belongs to races far older than yours." "The Nexus?" Maya questioned. "That is what you would call it in your language. It is one of 17 artifacts, left by the predecessors, beings who ascended beyond physical form eons ago. The Valari have protected these relics for millennia. Your species is too young, too impulsive to be trusted with such power." Maya's exploration team exchanged glances. In the decades since humanity had joined the interstellar community, they'd encountered numerous civilizations, some welcoming, others wary of the newcomers. The Valari, with their highly advanced technology and rigid hierarchical society, had always kept their distance. "With respect, Ambassador," Maya replied, "and we've broken no laws. The artifact, the Nexus, was adrift in unclaimed space. It was placed there as a test," Ambassador Talon said. "One your species is not ready to face. Surrender it now, or there will be consequences." The transmission ended abruptly, leaving a tense silence on the bridge "What do we do, Commander?" Rivera asked. Maya stared at the alien vessel through the viewport. Standing down would mean surrendering perhaps the most significant discovery in human history, yet defying the Valari could have diplomatic repercussions for Earth. "Set course for home," she decided. "Maximum speed. And get me a secure channel to Earth Command. They need to know what we're bringing." The return journey to Earth became a race against time. Twice more the Valari ship appeared, each time demanding the artifact. Each time, Maya refused. Her mission was clear: deliver the Nexus to Earth scientists where it could be properly studied. When they arrived in Earth's orbit, a delegation was waiting. Dr. Elijah Reed, Earth's foremost expert on alien technology, boarded the horizon with a team of specialized researchers. "I've studied the data you sent ahead," Reed said, his eyes bright with excitement. "If your findings are accurate, this could redefine our understanding of the universe." The artifact was transferred to a secure facility beneath the Olympus Research Center on Mars. There, protected by layers of security and the planet's natural radiation shielding, Dr. Reed assembled a team to unlock its secrets. Meanwhile, the discovery ignited a political firestorm. Earth's government demanded answers about the Valari's claims, while scientific organizations around the world clamored for access to the artifact. Some religious groups proclaimed it a divine gift, while others warned it could be a Trojan horse, meant to destroy humanity. 3 months into the research, Dr. Reed made a breakthrough. "The symbols aren't a language," he explained to Maya during her visit to the facility. "They're a code, a complex algorithm that responds to neural patterns. It's learning from us." "Learning what?" Maya asked, studying the artifact. "Through the containment field." "How we think," Reed replied, his voice hushed with wonder. "The Nexus is designed to interface with consciousness itself. The Valari said it was a test. I think they were right, but not in the way they meant." Reed's team had discovered that the Nexus responded uniquely to human brainwaves. While it remained mostly dormant around other species, in human presence, it became increasingly active. "There's something about human neural architecture that resonates with it," Reed explained. "Something the Valari and other species don't have." Before Reed could elaborate further, alarms blared throughout the facility. Security feeds showed armed figures breaching the outer perimeter, human mercenaries working alongside Valari operatives. "They're here for the Nexus," Maya realized. "We need to move it." "We can't," Reed protested. "The containment field is integrated with the facility's power systems. Moving it could destabilize the artifact." The decision was made to stand their ground. Maya coordinated with security forces while Reed and his team worked frantically to understand more about the artifact before it could be taken. As the intruders drew closer, Reed made a desperate choice. He deactivated the containment field, placing his hand directly on the artifact's surface. "What are you doing?" Maya shouted, rushing toward him. But it was too late. The moment Reed touched the Nexus, it pulsed with blinding light. The symbols on its surface began to rearrange themselves, flowing like liquid metal. "I can understand it now," Reed whispered, his eyes wide with astonishment. "It's not a weapon or a power source. It's a key." The room filled with holographic projections, star charts, equations, and schematics unlike anything humanity had ever conceived. At the center of it all stood Reed, his consciousness somehow linked with the ancient technology. "The predecessors left these for species who could pass their test," Reed explained, his voice taking on a strange resonance. "The test of cognitive evolution. We were never meant to find this by chance. We were meant to earn it." The door to the lab burst open as the intruders arrived, led by a Valari official. They froze at the sight before them. Reed surrounded by the holographic display, the artifact pulsing in harmony with his heartbeat. "Impossible," the Valari whispered. "No lesser species has ever activated a Nexus." Reed turned to face them, his expression serene despite the chaos. "Perhaps you've underestimated humanity," he said. "We may be young, but we possess something the predecessors valued above all else: adaptability." As if responding to his words, the artifact began to transform. Its tetrahedron shape unfolded like an intricate puzzle, revealing a core of swirling energy that bathed the room in golden light. "What is happening?" Maya asked, shielding her eyes from the brilliance. Reed smiled. "Evolution, Commander. The next step in humanity's journey. The galaxy thought it knew everything until humanity broke all limits." The light from the Nexus engulfed the room, and with it came understanding. Humanity was about to enter a new era, one that would shake the foundations of the galactic order. Breaking the cosmic ceiling, the Galactic Council chamber hummed with tense energy as representatives from 27 spacefaring civilizations gathered for an emergency session. At the center of the vast amphitheater stood Maya Chen and Elijah, Reed facing the scrutiny of species far older than humanity. "You have violated one of our most sacred laws," declared Councillor Vex, the Valari representative. His four eyes narrowed with barely contained fury. "The Nexus artifacts are forbidden to developing species. By activating one, you have disrupted the cosmic balance established eons ago." Maya stepped forward. "With respect, Counselor, we found the artifact in unclaimed space. No laws were broken. The law of natural progression was broken," Vex thundered. "Species must advance at their appropriate pace. The knowledge contained within the Nexus could destroy your civilization, or worse, give you power you're not ready to wield responsibly." The Archivist, an ancient being from the Cedian Alliance, raised a gnarled hand for silence. As the eldest member of the Council, their words carried immense weight. "What's done cannot be undone," the Archivist said, their translucent skin pulsing with bioluminescent patterns. "The question now is what humanity intends to do with what they have learned." All eyes turned to Dr. Reed, who had barely spoken since their arrival. The scientist looked different since his communion with the Nexus, more focused, more confident, yet somehow more humble. "The Nexus showed me why humanity succeeded where others failed," Reed said, his voice echoing across the chamber. "The predecessors didn't design these artifacts as weapons or tools of power. They created them as filters, to identify species with the cognitive flexibility to think beyond established paradigms." He projected a holographic image from a device on his wrist, a complex neurological scan. "Human brains possess an unusual combination of pattern recognition and intuitive leaps. We make connections that more logical species miss. We see possibilities where others see only facts." The Council chamber erupted in murmurs. Several representatives conferred urgently with their advisors. "This changes nothing," Councillor Vex insisted. "The Valari have safeguarded the Nexus artifacts. For millennia, we demand the return of the one in your possession along with any data you've extracted." Maya stepped forward. "That's not possible. The Nexus has already begun integrating with Earth's scientific network. The knowledge is spreading, not as raw data but as inspiration, insights that our scientists are building upon." "Then you leave us no choice," Vex declared. "The Valari Concord will take action to contain this threat." Before anyone could respond, an alarm sounded throughout the chamber. A communications officer rushed to the Council speaker's side, whispering urgently, "We are receiving an emergency transmission from the Valari homeworld," the speaker announced, confusion evident in their voice. The central display activated, showing scenes of chaos. Valari ships were mobilizing in massive numbers, a fleet large, enough to overwhelm Earth's defenses. "This is Executor Krell of the Valari Concord," announced a stern figure on the screen. "By order of the High Command, we are dispatching forces to neutralize the human threat. The Council's deliberation is noted but overruled." Maya's blood ran cold. Earth had been preparing for the possibility of conflict since the Nexus was activated, but they couldn't hope to match the Valari's military might. "This is an act of war," she protested. "We came here in good faith." "You came here having already committed the offense," Vex replied coldly. "The Valari have protected the cosmic order for 30,000 years. We will not allow a species, barely out of its planetary cradle, to upend that order." Dr. Reed remained strangely calm amid the growing chaos. He looked at Maya, then back to the Council. "There's something you should know before your fleet arrives," he said to Vex. The Nexus didn't just provide knowledge, it revealed why the predecessors created these tests in the first place. With a few commands on his device, Reed activated another holographic display. This one showed the galaxy, but not as it currently existed. The projection depicted stellar formations from billions of years ago. The predecessors foresaw a threat coming from beyond our galaxy, Reed explained. Something that conventional weapons and technology cannot stop. They created the Nexus artifacts to identify species with the cognitive capacity to find unconventional solutions. The archivist leaned forward, ancient eyes widening. The Great Darkness. It was thought to be merely a legend. It's very real, Reed confirmed. And according to the Nexus calculations, it will reach our galaxy within 300 years. Convenient. Timing for your revelation, Vex scoffed. Another human deception. It's not deception, Maya interjected. While you were preparing for war, Earth scientists were working on something else entirely. She nodded to Reed, who activated a final projection. This one showed schematics for a device unlike anything the Council had seen before. A technology that merged concepts from a dozen different scientific disciplines. We call it the harmonic resonator, Reed explained. It converts dark energy into usable power through a process we've only begun to understand. The principles came from the Nexus, but the application is uniquely human. One of the Council members, a crystalline being from the Tholian Cooperative, rose from their seat. This is impossible. The energy requirements alone would be met by drawing power from subspace itself, Reed finished. Yes, we've built a prototype. It works. The chamber fell silent as the implications sank in. If humans had developed such technology in mere months, what might they achieve given years or decades? The Valerie fleet will reach Earth in 6 days, Maya said, breaking the silence. We're not asking for protection. We're offering an alliance. The Nexus chose humanity for a reason. Let us prove it was right. The debate raged for hours. Some Council members feared humanity's rapid advancement. Others saw potential in their unique approach. The Valari remained unmoved, insisting that humans could not be trusted with such power. In the end, the Council reached a compromise. The Valari fleet would stand down, but a delegation of observers would monitor Earth's development of the Nexus technology. If humanity proved responsible, they would be granted full membership in the Galactic Council, the youngest species ever to achieve such status. As Maya and Reed prepared to return to Earth, they were approached by the archivist. I have lived for over 800 of your years, the ancient being said quietly. In that time, I have seen many species rise and fall. The predecessors chose wisely when they designed the Nexus to respond to your kind. How can you be sure? Maya asked. The archivist's skin pulsed with patterns of deep blue, the Setian expression of profound thought. Because you did not use the knowledge for conquest. Your first creation was a source of energy that could benefit all civilizations. It was the logical application, Reed said simply. No, the archivist corrected. It was the compassionate application. Logic would have dictated developing weapons first, to protect yourselves from those who would take the Nexus from you. That is what the Valari would have done. It is what most species would have done. And that's why the Nexus didn't respond to them, Maya realized. Precisely, the archivist confirmed. The predecessors didn't seek the most powerful successors. They sought the most worthy ones. 6 months later, the first full-scale harmonic resonator came online at Earth's Lagrange Point 1. The massive structure pulsed with energy as it converted dark energy into usable power, providing clean energy that could be transmitted anywhere in the solar system. Representatives from the Galactic Council watched in amazement as human scientists explained the principles behind the technology and offered to share it freely with any civilization that wished to implement it. You could have used this to dominate, Counselor Vex said to Maya as they observed the resonator from a viewing platform. The Valari's tone had changed from contempt to grudging respect. That was never our goal, Maya replied. Humanity has had enough of conflict. We want to build, not destroy. As the technology spread throughout the galaxy, humanity's status transformed from upstart newcomers to valued innovators. Their unique cognitive approach led to breakthroughs in fields that other species had considered settled science for millennia. 1 year after the activation of the Nexus, Earth hosted the first Galactic Science Summit, an unprecedented gathering of the greatest minds from across known space. There, Dr. Reed presented his most ambitious project yet, a cooperative initiative to prepare the galaxy for the coming of the Great Darkness. "We have 3 centuries to prepare," he told the assembled delegates. 3 centuries to transcend our differences and unite against a common threat. The predecessors left us the tools. Now, it's up to us to use them. As Reed spoke, Maya stood at the back of the hall watching with pride. The journey had been chaotic and dangerous, but it had led to something remarkable. A new understanding between species that had viewed each other with suspicion for thousands of years. The Nexus artifact, now housed in a special facility open to scientists of all species, continued to reveal its secrets. But its greatest gift had already been given: the realization that humanity's greatest strength lay not in their technology, but in their perspective. The galaxy thought it knew everything, Maya whispered to herself, echoing Reed's words from that fateful day in the Mars facility. Until humanity broke all limits. And in the vast reaches of space, other Nexus artifacts waited, ready to test other species, to prepare the galaxy for challenges yet to come. The cosmic ceiling had been broken, and the stars themselves seemed within reach. The universe holds infinite possibilities for those willing to see beyond the obvious. Humanity's journey had only just begun.